Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be reacting to one of Otto's latest releases, a song titled Vivarium. Now, if you guys are new to my channel at all, you may not know, but I have listened to so much Otto. I encourage you guys to check out my Otto reactions playlist. We love her over here. She is so incredible at what she does, and the thing is, nobody else does what Otto does and at the level that she does it. She is so unique in all of her vocal ability. Her range is incredible, not only in vocal dynamics but also in the genres that she approaches, and her songwriting is amazing and always catchy. So there's really no going wrong with any Otto, but I'm excited to hear what she sounds like in 2026. But before we jump into all of it, a massive thank you goes to Tyson for making this reaction request and for bringing more Otto back to the channel. Now, my friends, let's jump into it. We're first going to hear the song, and then I'll do a lyrical analysis. Oh my god. Like glass shattering, but in like a digital way for the first 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm trying to make sense of what's happening underneath with the rhythm. I think we're in 4/4, so at least that part is identifiable. But Otto is singing so beautifully above. Wow. The dual guitar, right? Oh god, a few things. So I don't know how Otto in her genius arrives at that vocal melody to rest atop the craziness that's going on in the rhythm below. It is like a version of putting a blanket over a static TV that's like doing all the gray and white buzzing noise. But because of how soft her voice is there, she is able to muffle that feeling a little bit. Let's jump back into it. There's another crazy part here. Oh yeah, so get the dual guitars. Kind of like interwoven DNA. Oh my god, I'm a little out of practice with reacting to Otto on the channel, so much is flying me by. Did you hear that feel change? All right, hold on. It's just hammering. The key melismatic over the top, and then the fast double time, and then the half stomps. Love it. In that section alone, I was trying to narrate it as we were going, but listen to it. It's 3 distinct feels. Hold on, back a bit. That's the third feel. So all sequenced like that is crazy. hold on. So this scene, this is the closet that, because like part of Otto's story is that she performed a lot in her closet at the early part of her career. So I feel like this song the vivarium, it's like living inside, it's like living animals inside. Is it a vivarium or terrarium? Hold on, let me look up vivarium meaning. Give me a second here. Vivarium meaning: an enclosed area, container, or structure designed to keep and raise live animals. Okay, so that's roughly the idea that I was thinking, which means that she is kind of pointing out that she is the animal in this vivarium, and the vivarium in question is the closet where she started her musical career. That is cool, dude. But it's an enclosed space, so she feels trapped as well. I like this. It's like the self-criticizing thoughts that usually plague our minds, especially the minds of a creative. Oh, I feel like it's breaking down, but I can't tell where it's gonna go at all. The panning of these voices. Oh my god. Of course, it was going to be the most harsh buildup of all time. I mean, I guess I should have thought that like that white static rumbling we were hearing at the very beginning, if it kept persisting, it would have to reach some logical boiling point, but I would never have predicted it to go in the fashion that it did here, and to go to like enter complete serenity right after. Yeah, that is Otto songwriting for you. Let's listen back to that just bubbling sequence into the huge drop. Like, that was feverish. It's just destructive. Yeah, dude, that is insane. Oh my god, her vocals, dude, how dynamic they are. So many voice changes she went through there, and we just got to hear all of it again. Oh my god, dude, what a release. Okay, here she starts to rise, piercing notes. Here we go. Flipping between head and that huge belt. Oh, the clarity in that high note, dude. I feel like like that cleanse in my brain. Dude. Oh my god. Otto in 2026 defies logic. Once again, she pushes the envelope even for herself. What is going on? Like, I don't know where to begin with that because you can always break it down so many different ways when it comes to Otto, and you still wouldn't cover all of the insanity. But you get to hear her in all of the possible versions of her voice, of the different styles, both in terms of genre, in terms of the different feels we're going through, the melodies that she's choosing. Though I will say I think she, for the most part, remained in a minor scale. But there were a few like flat notes here and there that gave her chromatic outs in different moments. I I truly can't imagine just what her what her like practice room, her studio room looks like on a day where she's coming up with a song like this. There's just so much happening. And I know that, you know, she's been doing this for a long time, and once you have done something for a while, maybe it does come easier, but the level of creativity that she puts on display, as well as ability to execute on this craziness, I don't think anybody else is doing this. I Am I incorrect in saying that like there's nobody else doing it like Otto? People can attempt slant styles and maybe draw a little bit of inspiration from her, but the way that she just exists as her own entity, I feel like she clears any competition that would fall victim to her presence. It's just, she is so amazing. I love it. I love that she makes me feel so out of my element musically, but also like she challenges me to be a better listener. In addition to that, she makes me feel emotionally with some of those big belts. I am a big fan. But I want to jump into the lyrical analysis portion of the video here. Let's pull it up here on Genius. I am not a big fan of Rap Genius, by the way, but this is the best place I could find the lyrics. How long has it been since that day? My muffled way of speaking remains unchanged. Muffled because quieting herself in the closet, but she is still that way seemingly. The mirror reflects an ideal image miles away, and still today I set these clumsy fingertips to work again. So I'm still in the music game, I'm doing these things, but I can often feel like I am playing an ideal rather than being myself, and myself sometimes feels a bit like I'm muffled in that box. And so the extension is I can feel like I am muffled in the closet of this identity that's been made for me rather than actually being me. Verse 2, ostracized by someone's words, left all alone. It can't be helped. I was never wanted anyways. That's sad. Because like somebody in the external world, they can be a hater. They can say something problematic to you. But the second mistake to be made is internalizing that yourself and actually then believing it to be fact. That's not true. Just because somebody else believes this thing about you doesn't mean you have to go on and believe it. Stained, lingering crimson, a silent debate behind the jeers. Is a defect something special? If so, I'm a fraud from the very start. Wow. I feel like that comes straight out of her diary. Is a defect something special? If so, I'm a fraud from the very start. Okay, so because the implication is that defects cannot be special, therefore my success is fraudulent. She has this like overwhelming imposter syndrome, which is insane considering how amazing we all think that she is. But that's just how imposter syndrome works. No matter what position in life you may be, you may literally be number one in other people's eyes. In your own heart, in your own feeling, you may not feel similarly. And that, of course, is a very toxic cycle with the self. Ideally, you can love yourself as is, and any improvements you make, well, that's the icing on the cake. So to sacrifice for the things I long to see come true, I've broken the things I held most dear. Okay, so she wanted to have success, but she did break parts of who she was. Regret crowds me, I can't breathe. So I find the peace peeling off the emotions. I'm trying to think of how I want to word how I understand that, because oftentimes we are our own worst critic, but the reason regret comes into the picture is because we didn't act as the version of ourselves that we are. Just be yourself. That's usually the regret that we have, is we didn't do what we would have done. You know what I mean? And so that can weigh on you, that can add to the emotional stuff that gets placed on your inner walls, and peace tries to peel down those emotions, because all those emotions will stay stuck up there, and to actually reach peace is to be devoid of that emotion, just existing in the present. And you can be emotional in the present, don't get me wrong, but it's not living in the past or anxious about the future. Do I become an adult not even knowing how to heal the wounds after falling? Oh, I like that too. Do I become an adult not even knowing how to heal the wounds after falling? So it's like, am I even an adult? Am I even a mature person in this world if my stumbling blocks are my own emotional fault lines? And dude, when you're in that position, like I feel like that on occasion, it's terrible. Like no matter what anybody else tells me about how good I am or how good I'm doing, I just may feel like all of this stuff, I'm not at the level I need to be. And it can feel like, yeah, I'm not an adult. I got to pause this for my camera. All right, let's keep going. To sacrifice for the things I long to see come true, I've broken the things I held most dear. Regret crowds me, I can't breathe. So I find the peace peeling off the emotions. We've gone through all of that, but now we've arrived here. Do I become an adult, not even knowing how to heal the wounds after falling, nor without knowing the repent for the mistakes I made? So it's, do I not know how to heal, and am I not an adult because of that? Maybe, maybe not. I would say that you're an adult. Every adult also has to grow too. It's not just a dichotomous transition from childhood to adulthood. And progress is never linear either. You can make mistakes of the same kind in the future. It doesn't make you any less of an adult. So then the following line, nor without knowing the repent for the mistakes I made. So without knowing the repent for the mistakes I made, I never did the act of, asking for forgiveness and actually putting my mistakes out there. At least that's what it seems here. And without knowing that, then can you actually truly confront yourself? Because the emotions that are underneath have still yet to be explored. Then the chorus, inside this dim vivarium, I was endlessly dreaming of myself. That light swaying in the distance felt like calling for me. And two, this is another thing I'm thinking with this closet. It's a bit of a way to stifle your voice because you're hidden in there, but it also serves as a bit of an emotional refuge as well, because that is your personal safe space. So you can be the most attuned version of yourself there. But verse 3, before I knew, I turned around and I was here alone. A mirage wanders into this cluttered room. Why do the tears and the frustration keep overflowing? The tips of my bitten down nails are stained red again. She's really, really anxious here. A lot of bottled up emotion. I was here alone. A lot of loneliness in the process of just being in this place. And that is something that has to be considered when you are doing a lot of soul searching and just living life as, let's say, a lone wolf and doing things when you feel alone. That alone feeling will multiply, especially on the down days. That's why it is helpful to have people who are there to support you, who are outside of yourself, to help you on those down days when you yourself may not be able to lift up. And then the bridge, this conversation with the voices, I can hear them in my head, voices of me and aren't me, over and over and over again. Diminish the meaning of my birth. Why can't you do anything? Why don't you know anything? I don't know. I just don't know. I've grown up to be without knowing a single right thing. The response, like, I am trying to make my way through this world. I don't have all the answers. This is the best that I can do. And that is a very real response, but also in responding to those voices, you, in a weird way, tacitly validate their existence. The ideal, I think, and this is my own philosophy, but when those negative thoughts come, you don't want to entertain them. You just notice them. You don't acknowledge them. You don't go any further. You can notice the negative thoughts you have about yourself and choose not to investigate it further. When you're feeling emotional, maybe that process becomes a little bit harder to take control of, but that's why I say it's a skill to be learned. I've grown up to be without knowing a single right thing. You didn't believe in anything. You couldn't believe in anyone. What you needed before the fame was just a simple, it's okay. Just peace, safety. That's all anyone really wants in this world. I'm sorry I let you lose your place to belong. So it's all right if you never come out again. Deep within the swaying capital, inside that light, I heard the song of a mechanical girl. I want to go there too. So the way I kind of take that final bridge, and then we repeat the chorus I think once, and then outro it. But the way I kind of interpret that ending sequence is she is finally embracing who she is, all the complexities of herself, and in a very peaceful manner. Because you have to, if you're going to criticize yourself, you're going to also have to apologize to yourself too. And oftentimes we don't forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we make. We don't have to involve anybody else in this process of forgiveness, because oftentimes the way that I have wronged myself weighs just as heavily. I know that a lot of people don't talk about forgiveness in those terms because normally it's associated with somebody else. But if you think about it, depending on the mistakes you've made, you want to apologize to yourself too and feel like, man, yeah, I did hurt myself, but it wasn't out of malicious intent. And also acknowledging that there's a whole set of like psychological theories around doing this investigation and personal dialogue. And I think it also depends, by the way, on whether or not you have an internal monologue or not. But I think at the very least, connecting with yourself in a very honest but real way, it's super important. And Otto here, through recounting this entire song, I think expresses that idea. But I really, really love this one, not only in terms of meaning and all these lyrics like we discussed, but all of the musicality. She really takes you through those emotions with her skill on top. You really just cannot go wrong with Otto. So thank you very much, Tyson, for requesting this song today. Hope you all enjoyed my reaction. If you'd like to request more Otto or any other music yourself, you can do so by using the first link in the description box below. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.